So Glenn's asked, it's nice to see a face behind the business. You ever planning a comeback? First of all, I know you asked something else there, but I'm just going to go with, am I ever having a comeback? And I know I sort of touched upon this before, but I'm not coming back to e-commerce. I'm not saying I'll never do e-commerce again, you know what I mean? I might have 50 years left yet, so yeah, I might do e-commerce again, but in fact, I did come back straight after GameSeek ended. I set up a new online retailer. I hired some staff, some good staff from my previous business. It did really well. The thing is, what I was trying to do, actually we did, what was it, about 10,000 sales in the first just over 6 months, or getting on for 10,000, but for a new business, that is decent. The issue was to make it really work, and I would have done way more sales than that. The biggest problem, and the reason why I stopped, well, actually the reason why I stopped is because I fell out of love with e-commerce, because of what I'm about to tell you. Despite doing that many sales, we weren't selling on Amazon and eBay. Now, anyone that's in small business knows how important Amazon and eBay are, especially to UK. And because of the fallout of GameSeek, they wouldn't let me set up an account. And it was so difficult for me to understand why they wouldn't want to work with me when I've made them an absolute fortune. I mean, obviously compared to what they earn, it's probably not much, and that probably is why, but we were always up there, as a big seller on these platforms. But they wouldn't give me an account, so it was very difficult. I asked and asked and I asked. I had so many phone calls with them, and whilst this was going on, I had staff. I had 3 very talented developers. I had a few other members of staff, for dispatch and social media, and the business was going. We didn't have any luck with it though. We had all the knowledge, but we didn't have the Amazon or eBay accounts. And the first thing I would have done straight away is set up 9 eBay accounts. I say 9 eBay accounts. So there's 9 countries I like dealing with eBay, so I have separate accounts for each country. But this was just normal. This is what we did at GameSeek. And Amazon, really, I know things have evolved a bit now, but UK, US, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, Australia, probably the Far East if you want it, but you can see where I'm going with this, how much business we were losing, and we were still doing all right. Anyway, I chucked it in about 8 months after the restart. We had a warehouse, a couple of offices. It was like a dead cert, like in my head that it was going to go massive, and it could have easily, but without having Amazon and eBay, in the end it just battered me down so much, I just fell out of love with it and I chucked it in. It's sad really, because if they let me have an account, I would have done it. Now I know some people are going to be watching this going, why didn't you set up a stealth account, or why didn't you set up in someone else's name? I didn't want to do that. No chance. I was used to going down to London, meeting Amazon, meeting eBay, having face-to-face meetings. I knew the guy that run the UK Seller Central. If I ever had any problems, I'd just contact him. I remember once, Amazon, it was Christmas one year, and Amazon owed us about $500,000 because he used to pay every 2 weeks. I know things have changed now, you can just withdraw money when you want, but they owed us like just under £500,000, and they suspended our account the night before we were about to be paid. I had a phone call in the early hours of the morning saying, Steve, we've just been suspended on Amazon. I said, you're joking. I remember jumping out of bed, going downstairs, seeing it, contacting my my guy, and I'll put in the video who he was, because I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but I know he got promoted and went over to Seattle in the end and started running the American Seller Central. But anyway, woke up in the morning and he'd already put me back on, and Amazon had paid me as well, like nearly £500,000. Alright guys, so I've just turned my camera back on, and I've wanted to add to one of the questions about restarting and how I only wanted to work with Amazon and eBay if it was me personally and not a stealth account. Now, anyone who's worked with Amazon and eBay can know how temperamental they are when they suspend you. Not eBay as much, but Amazon. And I couldn't run the risk, we actually tried these similar things in the past. We had a little bit of experience with setting up stealth accounts before, but I know if you did it properly, you could do it. You could do it and get away with it. But one member of staff logs in on a computer that you're not supposed to log into, and the whole thing collapses, and you're suspended. And I'm just thinking ahead. I was thinking, my God, if you had a big company and 50% of your sales was Amazon, and if someone goes and logs in on the wrong computer, next minute your stealth account's compromised. I wasn't doing that, no chance. I wanted the relationship. I wanted to build something with them. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to hide. I can understand it in Amazon and eBay's eyes. They must have thought, oh, this guy's a problem because he had a business that went into liquidation. But my response would be, I had a business for like nearly 18 years. I made you guys a small fortune, and I'm going to do it again. And the little bit of money you might have lost at the end, I'll make that in the first month for you. Do you get me? It's like, what's the problem? And also, it wasn't about ducking and diving. I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? I want to achieve something, and I want to go into work every day and look forward to it. I don't want to go into work thinking, are we going to get found out today? And I know some of you are going to be thinking, how on earth did you do nearly 10,000 sales without Amazon and eBay as a new startup when you're getting no traffic to your website? Well, again, it was experience. Just because we didn't have Amazon and eBay, we had other sales networks around the world. That's the way of making money, innit, on e-commerce, moving products from one country to another. So we were on other marketplaces. We just weren't on Amazon and eBay, the main ones. Also, we still could, believe it or not, shift quite a few products through our website, because straight away we knew what we were doing from the off. We'd go to one of the big networks in the UK, get an affiliate program straight away, start pushing that out, and be relentless with the promotions where you can. Carry some of the traits over from the previous business, what we used to do, to gain lots of attention. So the business, like I said, the business would have been massive if given an eBay and Amazon account. I'm convinced of it, but at the same time, I'm not upset really. I'm not that bothered. I'm not bothered at all. I've been there and done it. That was another thing that got me in the end. I was like, what am I doing here? I'm going to go through all this again. I'm going to end up building this big massive warehouse, get all these big machines, and then I'll be in the same place in 10 years time that I was, you know what I mean, years ago. Nah, you're alright. I wanted to, I know the easy thing would be to just do what you know, but I'm not doing that. Not when you're only alive for so many years. I just feel like it'd be good to learn something new. I just wasn't going to do. In the end, I just thought, you know what, it might be a blessing in disguise. I'm not going to doing this anymore. And one other thing is it really your business? I know it is, but is it really your business if Amazon can suspend you at any second and you have to lay off half your staff? It's not a good way to grow a business.